So hello everyone, welcome to FuturMaster Live at the Gartner Conference. So our last presentation of the conference on the FuturMaster Live Zone is a FuturMaster presentation, and it's Gilles Lefebvre, product manager at FuturMaster, who will be presenting a new product introduction, use machine learning to better forecast. Thank you, Gilles.
Thank you, Nairi. So hi everyone, I'm Gilles Lefebvre, I'm product manager at FuturMaster. In this role, I'm taking part of the product strategy, the roadmap definition, the development follow-up, and the go-to-market activities. Today, I'm going to speak about new product introduction. So we'll see the context and the challenges we may face in new product introduction. Then we will see how machine learning can help around these activities, how we implemented this in FuturMaster, and finally, as a conclusion, I will come back on the benefits. But first, let's have a look on context and challenges. According to different research, every year in the CPG market, more than 30,000 new products are introduced, but only 20 to 20% are successful. In this context, it's really key for the teams in charge of the new product introduction to get insight, to get information, to be conscious if they can really count on a success for the launch or a failure. So why companies are doing so many new product introduction in the market every year? First, and I think we all had this sharing during the last 2 days. We had this from L'Oreal, from Sanofi. There is this need of new experiences and personalized experiences. Then, to be present on the market, to be competitive against a competitor, you need to introduce periodically new products. You need to ensure sales throughout the year. In some seasonal activities, you need to manage a short life cycle products, and globally, to maintain the sale and improve the market share, you need to launch new products in the market. The consequence of this is the different challenges we may face. Because we introduce new product, we create new product, we have so many SKUs to manage, then a large number of references, and on an everyday basis, it's really complex for demand planning, for example. The consequence can also be the cost of stock. Because you introduce new product, you have more SKUs to manage, and to avoid the risk of losing service level, losing sales, you will increase the stock. Of course, there is also the risk of obsolescence, if it's not the risk of destruction in the end. And if you can't take care of this old product, all references, you have also the risk of not delivering the product because it's not at the right place at the right time. The new product introduction is really a collaborative process in a company. It involves the sales, the marketing, the demand planning. And here I wanted to have a focus on the demand planning and the role of the demand planner in the different steps of the new product introduction. The first step is the investigation. So here, the demand planner will see what are the opportunities for the new product, what are the SKUs performing well, what are the markets performing well. And he will elaborate some scenarios and see how the new product could perform. Then, in the feasibility phase, he will select some scenarios and see the business opportunities overall. What will be the impact of introducing this new product? Then, on the planning phase, the idea will be to select one of the scenarios and develop it and make sure everything is okay for this launch. In the development phase, it's not anymore the time to change everything. It's really fine-tuning, just making sure that the new product and the launch is ready. And during the launch period, it's key to monitor the first sales during the new product introduction horizon to make sure that everything is going as expected or not, and to be able to react or to reallocate some products from a region not successful to another one more successful, or to take decision to do some operation to push the product. So, in terms of demand planning, the expectations around new product introduction are, as usual, they expect a better forecast accuracy. They expect also, as we have seen, lots of new product introduction are failure, so they expect to have a certain degree of confidence on the forecast they produce. Then they will need also to have an update according to the last sales. So that's what I mentioned during the first period of sales of the new product to be able to react. And they need to have data intelligibility, really understand why this proposition from the system. So that's for the context and challenges. Let's see now how the machine learning can help around this. I will first spend time on a method called clustering, a machine learning method for clustering. Everything starts with the past products and the past sales for this product. This product have characteristics, and we will first group the products together in clusters, and we will group them. A group of products is a group of products with the same sales profile. So for this cluster 1, for example, the sales profile of the different products will be like this. For the second, it will be another sales profile, and so on. Then, inside these different clusters, we have different products, and we will see what are the predominant characteristics of the product inside the cluster. If I take also the example of the cluster 1 here, it's the characteristic number 3, which is mainly represented inside this cluster. That's the characteristic number 1 for the cluster 2, and so on. So that's for what we call the clustering phase. Then comes the time to launch a new product. And this new product has characteristics. Here, that's the characteristic number 3. And we will check to which cluster this new product should belong. In this example, because it's characteristic number 3, the proposition of the system will be the cluster 1 for this new product. So it's a bit simple here, because first it's not only the product characteristics, it's the customer characteristics, the launch characteristics, and so on. And also, the system won't propose only one cluster. The idea is to have a percentage of chance for a product to belong to a cluster. For example, it can be 80% for cluster 1, 10 for cluster 2 and 3. So in this case, we can be pretty sure that cluster 1 is relevant. But it could be 40, 30, 30, so it's less certain in this case. But the system will provide this information, this insight. So that's for the first step. Thanks to that, this new product has its sales profile. Then we can use also the machine learning to calculate the global volume during the sales period, the launch period, sorry. And then we can also use the machine learning to adapt after the first period of sales. So how we integrated that in FuturMaster? In fact, we integrated exactly as I mentioned previously. We have first the clustering definition. Then when we get a new product to launch, we assign this new product to the cluster, and thanks to that we have the sales profile. Then when comes the time to launch a new product, we calculate the forecast quantity for the launch. And then we can also adjust the cluster according to the first sales. So there are two main phases. One is more and is current for machine learning, is more the training phase. It's not something we will run every day. It's something we will run every couple of months, every quarter, every year. It will depend on the new launch we have done to take advantage of the new historic. And what we will take is all the characteristics of the launch. So the product, the customers, the characteristics of the launch by itself, and the sales historic. And as an output, we get all the different clusters and we get the different sales profiles. Then on the right side, it's more the model application. And here, it's really on demand. So it's immediate. You can calculate the forecast when you want. And for this, we will take the characteristics of the new launch. And as an output, we will have the assignment of this new product to a cluster and get the volume. Here is an example I wanted to share because it's an example a concrete example we have with one of our customers in textile. And that's an output we get from the clustering phase. In this example, the system calculated and generated 12 different clusters with 12 different sales profiles. Even this was already strong information for them, big information, because they had a reordering strategy. Before the launch, they order 80% for the beginning, and then they plan 20% later. But for some of this sales profile, it's not relevant. If we take the example of the cluster one, you have here, if you have here 80% and you reorder the 20%, you don't need, in fact, to reorder the 20% later. The same for this one, because it's very progressive, no need to order so much right at the beginning. So, as a conclusion, let's see the key benefits we can have using this method. First, that's a better forecast accuracy. In the context I mentioned, in 70% of the case, the system will assign the good cluster and will improve the forecast accuracy. Then that's the automation. All this calculation of sales profile could be done in the past manually, but here it's completely automated. Then that's the data intelligibility. We can know, it's not the black box effect we can have with machine learning here. We can really understand why the system is doing this proposition. We have the percentage of chance for a product to belong to a cluster. So we really have insight to understand why this forecast. And the demand planner can change the proposition if necessary. And finally, that's the agility, reactiveness, and adaptiveness we can have with this, because it's not only a forecast at one point, but then we update this forecast according to the first sales.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gilles, for your presentation. A very concrete example of use of machine learning.
If you want to know more, don't hesitate to come and meet us.
Yes. So we wait for you now in the auditorium. At 2:30, L'Oréal will be presenting their business case with FuturMaster. So hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Bye.